So I've actually been part of the Chef's Garden team for 6 years now.
Okay.
So the connection was between Bob Sr., who has since passed away, but him and my grandpa were really good friends. So that was kind of the connection.
Nice.
So we actually have a family farm over in Collins, about 15 minutes from here. So there was that connection, and that's kind of how I started here.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah, here's our research lab. Over here, we can start over here. This is the system that we use for our mineral analysis. So this is an ICP-OES, which stands for Inductively Coupled Plasma-Optical Emission Spectrometer. And so how this system works is it uses an argon gas flame to ionize the sample, which then goes into a detection system that's looking at wavelengths. So we run our calibrations of a known standard of whatever mineral we're looking for. So we look at all of our macro minerals to our micro minerals, so calcium, for example, to, say, manganese or zinc. So how this process kind of works is we have our samples that come in, we do a drying process, and then this system over here is called a microwave digester. So we use high heat, high temperature, in an acid solution to dissolve and free up the mineral analysis in that organic matrix, and then from there we actually have our dilutions that we do before it hits our system over here. So yeah, we've done a lot of mineral analysis on a lot of our different vegetable crops, micros, and herbs.
Nice, nice.
So this system over here is our gas chromatography system. So we've used this system a lot for looking at flavor compounds. So a lot of our different herb samples, we've looked at different stages and kind of the flavor profiles as that plant grows, from either micro-sized to full-size herbs. And then obviously there's a lot of factors that influence those flavor compounds. So like light, for example, we can change light spectrums, light intensities, which you'll see a completely different change in just the flavor profile from like light, for example. Also, like soil inoculants make a big difference in the flavor profiles that we see.
Yeah.
So this has been a really great way to kind of see what those flavor profiles are made of. You can taste the difference, but this you can actually see.
Here's the data. Yeah.
40 compounds that make up this flavor profile.
So sounds like you've definitely fine-tuned this to a bit. So is there a way where, you know, when a certain crop comes in, you look at the profile, and if you wanted to, lack of a better word, but kind of like increase the flavor or increase like a certain macro or micronutrient, is there a way to do that?
Yeah, so with flavor, we've kind of, let's just take basil, for example. We kind of are learning like what light spectrums to make maybe that basil more sweet. So you can actually change. We have a couple controlled cell labs that we're doing those kind of experiments with, so we can kind of understand what light spectrum will make this basil more sweet, or if we want more of that spicy, bitter flavor, we can, you know, change that light spectrum. So yeah, light is one way.
Awesome.
That's pretty great.
That's so
like
cool.
I mentioned, different biology can also influence those flavors. So certain bacteria species or adding fungi strains can really make a difference too.
That's super cool. I love it.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because why I say that is that we genetically modify everything, right? To, you know, make it more resilient and make it, you know,
higher yielding.
Exactly. So to be able to do that, for example, using light spectrum is, you know, to me it's fascinating to do that, you know, so.
Right. A lot of things lost through that is they don't necessarily look at the nutrient component that's lost through, you know, the breeding and the genetics that they're doing today. So.
Yeah.
So this little guy over here is our CO2 gas analyzer. So this system is it's called a CO2 burst test. The system is used to look at the microbial activity of the soil. So it's kind of just a general test that gives you an idea of the microbial activity in that certain soil.
Nice. Are there other ways besides the regenerative practices that you guys for controlling some species like the microbial species? Are there, I guess, external factors or, you know,
as far as like adding?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some different inoculant brands that we use, like certain mycorrhiza. Fungi is one that we can add at the time of planting, like inoculant on the seed. Some different bacteria species that you can add as inoculants. So,
nice.
Yeah, we found a really great company that has like a great diversity of different bacteria species and fungi that we use.